In this video, we're going to talk about why I quit working 20 years as a telecom tech and started a YouTube channel. So let's get right into it. Well, just to start out, as working as a telecom tech, just to keep it short and get right to the point of why I opened up a YouTube channel. Just to start out, working after 20 years of doing telecom work, doing a lot of construction, working for various service providers and stuff of that nature, and pretty much learned all the ropes it is to know about the telecom industry. And I didn't want to be burdened with trying to open up something and stuck with all the customer complaints and stuff like that. So if you ever was doing this type of work before, you kind of know how it is and how you got to deal with a lot of customers and stuff. And I was thinking like, man, do I want to get older? And as I get older, do I want to really, deal with stuff like that? Is that going to be beneficial for me? And, it takes a toll on you after working 20 years. It's a lot of labor intensive. So, I started wanting to learn different things, trying to make more income and stuff like that. Because, back then, with the income was different. You could try to get ahead a little bit, but when something comes up, man, in life and stuff like that, everyone has the same issues. It takes up your savings and stuff like that. So I got tired of going through the same cycles, over and over again. And I got a couple of bullet points here, so I don't get lost. But tired of going through the same stuff over and over again. So I decided to, try different things as I was still working full time, and raising the family and stuff like that, like everyone else does. And I started doing different things. Like I learned how to make music. So that was one of the things as being a music producer I do, on the side like a hobby. So I started doing that, and I was thinking, oh, that's going to be my breakthrough, and I'm gonna make so much. And it didn't turn out that way after so many years of doing it. But I stayed with it. I still do, make a little income from it, so it does help, overall. Um, I started doing the reselling. These ideas came off of YouTube. Now, I remind you, all these things I saw came off of YouTube. So, started with the music, then also doing like the eBay thing as well, and with the reselling. But the only issue is, like, say for instance, like an eBay or Amazon, it's a lot of technicals that you have to do, and it would discourage you if you're not familiar or computer literate. So, that's what I learned. It's like all the little intricate details that you got to do, to set up your account, to make sure you're doing your stuff right. And even with eBay, the problem I was having is, I bought so much of some inventory, as a new person, and you don't have that much, to put into it. Maybe a couple $100, maybe a couple of thousand. So you're gonna only get so much, so many items, and you're banking on those items to make you profit. And you're thinking that you're gonna get the turnaround time quicker, but sometimes it takes months to a year. And when you're watching the people on YouTube, they'll show you like, it could take that long, but you see theirs going, it sells in like a week or a month or something like that. So you're thinking, oh well, worst case it'll be like a month. That's what you're thinking in your head. So, after going through all those things and, dealing with trying to find items to resell, and then you're trying to scan it using all the apps, and it's like a lot of technical stuff you have to do attach with running the store. And I still have that going as well because I have so much stuff I purchased and I wasn't able to get everything out. So I still have that active, so the music and eBay, but it's not enough to where it's going to be life changing or something that's going to pay your bills. Sorry. So what I decided to do was also, I tried to do the TikTok, and the YouTube with my music and attach those as well. And it's a different market for music. It's a totally different thing now. And with everything online and with everyone that can do different things, with the internet, is if you have to be in certain groups and circles and people, it's not about how the sound, it's how much they like you. So, it's a different realm. Like it's different levels of stuff. So, I started doing those, and all these things is going to take some money. That's a whole nother issue. And if a lot of people are strapped for that kind of money, it's going to be hard to start a lot of these things. And the people on YouTube say, oh yeah, you just got to do this, you just got to do that. But the problem is you can only start it so many times. And if you fail, I can see where people get discouraged and don't want to do nothing else, because if you're putting 500 or $1,000 in that you really don't have, but you're willing to take the risk, after about 1 to 2 to 3 times, a lot of times people won't do it no more. But you got to just get over that part, or find some things that doesn't take that much, to put into. And that's where I come to when after getting all my information from YouTube, I figure out, well, why don't I start a YouTube channel? And that way, I mean, the only thing I have to buy is a microphone, that's the one thing that you want to invest in, and also a camera. You want to buy a high quality camera. So, the camera I have is like a $200 camera, and you have a $100 microphone. Most times people already have a laptop or a computer, so you don't need that. So, worst case, 200 to 300 bucks to start. But the only thing that's stopping you with YouTube is you just got to make your content. It's not like money to make your content. Once you buy the camera and the microphone, you already own it. So only thing you have to do from there is just make the content. So after I thought about it so many years, but I put it on the back burner and I tried different things because I was thinking, no, I'd rather deal with something I can touch and make money and it's tangible, in that kind of mind state. So you do have to definitely get out of that kind of mind state to start making the YouTube, because remember, even with YouTube, it takes a lot of effort, even making the videos. But from what I learned is the editing. When you go back and you edit, making your thumbnail, learning how to do it. I'm new at it as well. And for instance, I'll even show you. Just give me a second here. So I just started in January of this year, and I don't know if you can see that, but see, 80, what is that? 86, 86 subscribers. And I don't get that many views, but I just bought this camera, so I'm still learning it. I put the focus on my face, not on the actual object, so I got to change the settings. But it does say that, so you guys can see it. I'm not just making it up. I'm not a YouTuber on here that has 10,000 subscribers and then saying something. I'm a new YouTuber, just like the other new YouTubers or creators. And the other things that I found out as well with YouTube is it just takes your effort. If you work hard at it, doing everything that you're supposed to do, as far as making your videos, even if no one looks at it, it could be discouraging. But you got to take it as a learning curve and just keep making your content over and over again. Get better as you do it. Look what works, look what doesn't work. Try different things out and look at your analytics and figure out what's actually making it go up and what's making them, people looking at it, and your click-through rate. So, that's what I learned after so many, years of working regular. You can only get ahead so much, and you can save money, but nowadays stuff is so expensive that you're gonna have to pick up something extra to do. You can only have so many hours in a day. Some people want to do the DoorDash, some people do the other stuff, but it takes your time. So you got to find a way. If all your time is gone, you don't have no time for, if you have a family, you don't have no time for yourself. You don't have time to do anything that's your dreams. So how do you ever get, over that curve? And people every day just wake up and racing just to make it every day. And I understand I'm the same way, but you have to do something to make a difference so you can, possibly have a better future. And the YouTube channel, even especially the older people, being, I'm almost 50 and I'm starting it. I'm not young. So being old as I am, and I see a lot of older YouTubers on here, and they always encourage it. You have life stories, you have things to offer, you have guidance and wisdom, and that's a lot of things that's valuable on YouTube. You have a lot of things to offer. So, that's why I wanted to start a YouTube channel, just to have the creativity for myself and be able to have the freedom to make content at will the way you want to make it. Because if you think about it, when you go to work, which is nothing wrong, you got to go by under what they want, or put up this face and this front of something that you're not. When you're making your stuff on your content, you can be your true self. You can explain things the way you want to explain in your point of view, the way you feel, the way, things of that nature. When you have that kind of freedom and you can make a living off of it, it's a different kind of of outlook. It's a different feeling for a human. It doesn't matter if it's a guy or girl. So that's one of the things of having that and showing the world the stuff that you can offer. And it's always the connection of other humans and doing things like that, just like we would do if we would go to work. It's the same concepts that apply for ourselves, and we just gotta figure that part out and just get over it and keep making the videos and keep making content. But that's the reason why I started wanting to make the YouTube videos as well. And after I'm making the different videos and learning the different techniques and the different things, I'm looking down here because I'm looking at my notes. So I learned that the editing is a major key, and especially the thumbnails. So yep, but that's pretty much it as far as me working that 20 years and giving it up just to have a better life for yourself is very possible. And all I could tell people is I hope this video helps somebody to take that risk, take that chance, because if you have to be a risk taker. If you're not a risk taker, you're not going to be able to get anywhere pretty much in life that you want to be. So take risks, but take risk in your own perspective. I mean, your own realm and own way that you can still, maintain and function the way that you need to be. Again, this is why I quit working after 20 years for being a telecom tech and starting a YouTube channel. And I hope other people can, relate as well. I'm new to making videos, and I probably was scattering all over the place, but I'm giving a real perspective, from it's not written and anything. This is all at will, free mind that I'm just, explaining stuff. So as I'm making more videos, I know I get better. So I hope this helps people to see how it is being on video, because it's different to talk to a camera. It's uncomfortable. You'll probably never get over it as you keep doing it, but just don't worry about that, because you're more worried about your craft and you actually enjoy doing what you're doing. So as long as you enjoy doing what you're doing, as time go on, everything will just start working. So for all the new creators out there, I hope if you like stuff like this, please like and subscribe. And I'm gonna make more videos like this and also make other funny content as well. You can check the other videos out on my channel, and I'll see y'all later.